Smart 24, driving business.
We'll be back from the break. You're still watching SmartMen's Business Around You by Ray. I'm here with Masi Katsime, and definitely we are driving your business all the way with quite lots of, very interesting conversations that are coming up. But of course, before we proceed into our business tips and quotes for the day today, don't forget the Markets on the Zabo platform in a few minutes from now are going to be on. Now, *292# is simply the USSD code for you, which will help you and which will avail with these options, while you'll be in position to buy government bonds and securities for a fee of just 15,000 Ugandan shillings. Now, the markets will be opening at exactly 8:15 a.m., running all the way to 3:15 p.m. East African time. This is effective from today up to Friday, apart from the weekends and the public holidays when these markets cannot be accessed. But of course, despite the fact, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make yourself quite some huge money, something which I believe is quite very profound when it comes to your financial evolution as a human being and as a person that is pursuing a career and a trader at the same time. Remember, on top of *292#, you have to register with your national identification number for you to proceed efficiently. Zabo made this a reality. It's the new talk of the century. Zabo says, my money, my future, and all East Africa says, do something new. It's the year 2023. Remember that. Of course, we gotta do things much more different. Well, it's our session as we head into the business tips and thoughts. I understand when the week starts, sometimes we have different feelings, how we feel. Some people are emotional. Some people are moody. Have mood swings and all that.
Recently I was talking to a friend and they were like, maybe Monday we should start Monday on maybe at around 12 p.m.
12 p.m.
Because if you realize Monday morning people in a rush, people are disorganized. Absolutely disorganized.
I thought it should be the day when people are most organized.
No, because you don't know where people spend the night on Sundays.
But honestly, Saturday I could understand, but why would you spend Sunday? First of all, is a holy day.
I know it's a holy.
Well, it's holy.
I do not know that or that matter. People perceive things differently. So the disorganization of Monday is really too much for some people. Because you wake up, first of all, you're late, then you're caught up with time, then you're caught up with time. Presentation, you're fumbling. So definitely, I think we shall look into it and find means. But of course, being a Sunday, I believe Sunday is for staying home, staying with family. Get to do evening walks, go take a stroll. Sleep early, wake up early, prepare for Monday. The rest of the days you can be late as well. But Monday being the first day of I don't know if it's the first day of the week really.
Like you say, there is a huge battle there. There is a huge battle there. So Monday, Sunday, but anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, that is according to I realize it's all opinion based. Most of the aspects into this world are actually opinion based. Well, for now, let's get into our business tips and quotes, and of course we shall be returning to deeper into them. Well, expenses.
The big spenders.
Big spenders, like how somebody, of course, I know that I've always told us when you're running a business, you have to be careful. Sometimes we have this mindset that, I want to drive a car in the shortest time possible after this business really makes money out of that. Well, that is something which is not really as easy as you might it might seem.
There has to be discipline, I must say.
Yeah, there has to be quite absolute discipline.
Because I mean, the problem I think we have as youth with businesses is because when you start getting a profit, excitement.
Once you get a profit,
you're excited. You plan. You stretch yourself. You plan. So 6 months in, I am buying a car. You forget that you could use those profits to invest in something else. So we are excited. That is when you get to hold a lot of money. You're extravagant. You want to go to the best hotels around town. Spend the weekend with your friends. For the boys, they do the boys, and for the girls trip. So definitely, if you're not careful enough, you find yourself stretching beyond your budget. So definitely,
absolutely,
it is important to stay in line with your budget. The same applies to, I've had stories of women having financial problems when you have a lot of money on you, and when it comes to, when you're passing through town, even when you do not want it and you see something nice, interesting.
Nice, I know. Actually, it happens with men too. I mean, when you have money, you can really look at something you like. You look at a shoe, a suit. You definitely, you gotta walk away. Any person with money, actually, it's not. I don't even want to say with women or what. When you get money, somebody told me, you see a distance which you walk every day, a small distance. For example, you're going to a supermarket, but the day you get money, that distance seems long. So you feel like you want to board. At least you gotta stop a border to drive you just 10 meters.
Yeah.
At that time, okay, maybe that's sort of exaggeration. 20 meters at that point is too long because you have money, because you have $1 million sitting in your pocket just there.
You're planning.
That's nothing.
You have a lot on your mind. You're planning. So definitely, that's the thing about sticking to your budget. Really, I must say, if you're planned the day, you have to plan. I have my transport money with me. I have my lunch money with me, and that's it. Beyond that, trust me, you're going to spend. That's
why sometimes it's not good to work with lots of, why don't you, there are moments when I move with money, I'm strictly going to spend for the day. I don't care about emergencies. But I know when I work with excess money,
it will bring problems.
You see this, you want to eat this, what you feel like you crave for at that moment, you gotta go for it. So it's better I work with money that I'm going to spend for that day.
Yeah, anyway, for the business owners, of course, sticking to your budget is important. Of course, you do not deny yourself privileges.
Good things, of course.
Yes, once in a while, but not every day. When you get more profits, yes, get half of the profits you've gotten. Buy yourself a cloth or a shoe, little money, and then the rest you can invest it in something. Take it back into your business. Don't overspend it to buy a car, then you go and get a loan, then you've been those ones problems. Loans will be the death of us.
Loans
will be the death of us.
And somebody said when you're starting up a business, you make sure that you have money to pay workers for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you're profiting, let it be there, and expenses, all that you plan for, and in the tip, there is where he went further and mentioned something about be ready for unplanned expenditures. Of course, there are those things that might really come out. That's surprise, and you have to fulfill them. You're the entrepreneur, you're the CEO, you're the vision bearer, and everybody's looking up to you. Something which some of our young entrepreneurs don't really put into absolute consideration. By the way, this also applies most especially for the service business. I know sometimes we normally look at to such expenses mainly onto the production, those people that are producing goods and services, But I can also bring it back to the services. For example, you could be running a graphics company, and and probably you're going to be running heavy deals. Of course, you can't do that alone. If we talk about heavy deals, you need some people to work with. So, of course, those people, that's your labor. They will need money. What if your computers break down? Those are, maintenance costs. So you have to really put all that into consideration and spare a huge sum of money that can be used for actually those unforeseen, uncertainties. It's quite, it's very bad for you being an entrepreneur when something happens and you don't know what next.
You don't have backup in I must say plan B.
You don't have plan B. The financial. You have to look into all that.
You're borrowing now. You're going in for loans. Wow. Very, very, very hectic. But anyway, like the first quote said, hard work, sweat. You have to
hard work, sweat, and determination.
Yes, it doesn't come on a silver platter. Though, for some it has come.
Like who?
When you're born in
But you see, being born in a rich family is one thing. I mean, you find all this. But you see, there is a pressure that comes along when it comes to maintaining your family's legacy.
No status.
Because when you're inheriting this, definitely you're going to be told something, and they're going to tell you know what, you're taking over your father's business, you're taking over your father's wealth, but remember, your father built this from sweat. They'll tell you all that. That alone is enough to put you on pressure to work hard and be determined, because it's not going to, for us to see companies that have been able to succeed for years, 500 years, like some of these beer, that make, those spirits and all that. Some have really lasted for quite a while. But you see, it comes on this aspect of mentoring the person that is going to be taking over these, it's bigger than, you have to know the responsibility that you hold, because what if this collapses during your time? It will stay in history that the company X started in this year 1930, it became victorious for 500 years, but when so and so's son inherited this world, it led to its downfall. And I don't think you'd love that to be on your CV. For your great grandchildren to actually look into that, and you put them in a state of regret. Oh, our grandfather didn't, you need to make them proud. So it's really a huge responsibility for that. It takes determination, sweat, hard work. The funny thing is that so many times we do so much talking. We talk about our dreams, but we never move out there. We don't take a step forward to make sure that we actually make it come to pass. And it remains in dreams, talking all day, all night. I want to be this, I want to do that. I want to start up a multi-millionaire company. Like how somebody talks about, he wants to be abroad, but this person doesn't have a national ID, he doesn't have a passport. Okay, it's basic things.
We just feel like it's just snap and you just
snap
out of the country. But when he talked about family legacies and of course successions, I remember me of the story, the Bible, David, Solomon. If you realize, after Solomon,
it was the end.
It was the end, because there were battles among the family. Solomon, fighting, then it was the fact that he had even very many women, then that the brothers sleep with the sisters. It was a lot. Since it was, I think Solomon was the last king, maybe to make sensible decisions.
Actually, interesting aspect. Anyway, that lineage is quite very interesting.
Let me tell you, the generations actually define thinking. So the first generation to start up a thing, the second one may have a little bit of sense. The third generation, the third generation usually blows it up. Yes. But
the responsibility of not blowing it up.
Yes, that is mentoring, like you said, mentoring your successors. Yes, for the second generation, it's usually you've gotten it from the first, and you feel like maybe the third will learn from it, and of course the third having a different mentality is now looking at our generation. We're not interested.
We're not interested.
So just imagine we are going to blow things. Actually, we are blowing things up.
Okay. That's upset. Anyway, make sure you're not among those that are blowing up things up. Oh, definitely. Now, as we head into our discussion to wind this up, of course, something to do with domestic revenue mobilization linkages that is within not only just Uganda but also the nations in East Africa. Now, we see an aspect in here. You see, in the East African nations, since we are all we are in a move to make sure that we have quite lots of foreign direct investments, we bring in aspects such as incentives, tax incentives. Yes. Remember, Kenya is looking for them. Rwanda is looking for, for those investors. Tanzania at the same time. So you find that these investors, when they come into a country which has the best incentives, they're going to invest into that country.
Yes, definitely.
Right? So that means there is going to be a competition in East Africa for incentives. Before we know it, we are losing our taxation rights.
Don't you see what is happening in Kenya? Now, the story we read last week about Tanzania taking advantage of the instability that is happening in Kenya. And now the investments now are going to go to the nearest stable country.
Nearest stable country.
Yes. And of course, the taxes that they're imposing on citizens, it's overwhelming. So definitely people are going to look for alternatives.
Very interesting. Actually, for Kenya's case was actually the war. But imagine now this is, okay, there is that crisis. Now investors are shifting to Tanzania. That means Kenya will become desperate and even put more incentives to that. And well, that all damages the economy. Well, let's get into this discussion. And of course, I'll be returning as we wrap this up. Well, sorry, just a few technicalities in there. But anyway, on top of that, let's get into the break. And when we return, we shall be taking a look at what's happening into, that is the business and entertainment. Stick around.